In football, some players are remembered for various reasons, and one of the most remarkable players in the history of football is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. No one can deny that. Ibrahimovic stands out not only for his football skills, but also for his strong, cocky, and irreverent personality. But there are those who say that there is a curse in the player's life, and in this video we're going to talk about it. The curse of Ibrahimovic. Ibra's career is full of achievements. Just recently, he became a champion with Milan in the Italian Championship, a title the club hadn't won in 11 years, precisely during the striker's previous spell at the club. At that moment, Milan was only in 11th place in Serie A at the end of the first half of the season. By the end of that season, with 10 goals from Ibra in 16 games, he helped the club finish in 6th place, making a real revolution within the team. At that point, Milan was going to fire coach Stefano Pioli at the end of the season and overhaul the entire football department, including the club legend Paolo Maldini. But with Ibrahimovic's arrival and the team's resurgence in the championship, the coach was given another chance, and in the following season, he did not disappoint, contending for the title throughout the campaign, with Ibra scoring 17 goals that season, although they ultimately finished in 2nd place. Even at the age of 40 and no longer having the same role in the team, serving as a backup to Giroud, he continued to be important, scoring 10 goals that season and being a great leader within the club. He fulfilled his promise to help Milan become champions again upon his return, something many doubted. His club career, it's true, he never won a Champions League, but he won every other title, including a Europa League with Manchester United. Everywhere he went in Europe, he won titles, starting with Malmö, his first team, Ajax, Juventus, Inter Milan, Barcelona, Milan, Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United, and in his return to Milan, he was a champion again, except for Los Angeles Galaxy. But there, he reached the milestone of 500 career goals and scored 53 goals in 58 games. In fact, when he left US soccer, he said, "You can go back to watching baseball now because I'm leaving." Although Ibra had a very successful career and is the most prominent name of an entire generation of Swedish players, and for many, the greatest player in the country's history, his success has not been the same with the national team. Some say there is a curse preventing Ibrahimovic from playing in another World Cup, as, without Larsson, he hasn't played in a World Cup since 2006. Now, it's not that Sweden is a team that fights for titles. Sweden has always been known as a very competitive nation in World Cups, especially in 1958, when they hosted the tournament and finished as runner-up, losing to Brazil. In 1994, they finished in the 3rd place. So, with a player of that caliber, you would expect a higher level of quality, right? Not necessarily. When Ibra came into the national team in 2001, the country's main player at the time was Henrik Larsson, who was already 30 years old, and key names like Brolin, Dahlin, Ravelli, and Thurn were no longer playing for Sweden. The striker's generation featured an aging Larsson, Arsenal's talented Ljungberg, Anders Svensson, Mellberg, and goalkeeper Isaksson as the key players. In 2002, Sweden went to the World Cup with Ibrahimovic and Larsson as the attacking duo. The team topped their group, which included England and Argentina, but was eliminated in the round of 16 by the tournament's surprise team, Senegal. In 2006, Larsson's last World Cup at age 35, Sweden was again eliminated in the round of 16, this time by hosts Germany. After the World Cup, Larsson retired from international football and Ibrahimovic fully took over as the team's leading figure. The veteran striker returned to the national team at 37 and played in Euro 2008, where Sweden was eliminated in the group stage. Afterward, Sweden failed to qualify for the 2010 World Cup, finishing third in their group behind Denmark and Portugal, who advanced to the playoff. Ibrahimovic was then 29 years old. In Euro 2012, they were once again eliminated in the group stage, finishing last. For the 2014 World Cup qualifiers, Sweden finished second in their group behind Germany and went into a playoff against Portugal. They lost the first leg 1-0 with a goal scored by Cristiano Ronaldo, and in the return leg in Sweden, Ronaldo opened the scoring again. Ibrahimovic scored twice to give Sweden the lead in the 60th minute, but Cristiano Ronaldo then scored 2 more goals to send Portugal to the World Cup. Once again, Ibrahimovic missed out on what was likely his last chance at a World Cup. At age of 33, after missing out on another World Cup, he said, "A World Cup without Zlatan isn't worth watching." Ibra traveled to Brazil during the World Cup and participated in several advertising campaigns. After some time, he returned to the national team and helped the country qualify for another Euro. This time, the 2016 edition. There, he announced it would be his last tournament for Sweden and that he would retire from international football, regardless of the result. They played on, however, against the odds and led by midfielder Forsberg. Sweden finally returned to a World Cup after missing 2 tournaments, qualifying by beating Italy and leaving the Italians out of the World Cup. Naturally, there was a lobbying for Ibrahimovic to return and play in the World Cup, but although he said he would be in Russia, Ibra did not return to the national team and confirmed that he remained retired from international football. The Swedes had a great World Cup, finishing top of their group, which included Germany, South Korea, and Mexico. They defeated Switzerland in the round of 16, but were eliminated in the quarter-finals by England 2-0. Sweden qualified again for Euro 2020, and after many requests, Ibrahimovic, in great form for Milan, announced his return to the national team in 2021, as the tournament had been postponed due to the pandemic. He cried upon his return to the national team, spoke about his love for his family, but was ultimately cut from the final squad after injuring himself while playing for Sweden in a World Cup qualifier against Kazakhstan. The striker had to undergo knee surgery and missed the tournament, where Sweden performed well again, topping their group but getting eliminated by the surprising Ukraine in the round of 16. In the qualifiers for Qatar's World Cup, Sweden finished second in the group stage and went into the playoffs. Sweden beat the Czech Republic by 1-0 but lost to Poland in the final round. Once again, Sweden missed to qualify another World Cup with Ibrahimovic on the roster. After the elimination, Ibra dismissed the possibility of a new retirement. However, if he were to play in the World Cup, he would already be 41 years old. Will he have enough longevity in football for another attempt at age of 44? We were left wondering at the time. In any case, while Ibrahimovic's international career with Sweden was marked by great frustration, he had excellent moments, such as the unforgettable bicycle kick goal against England. Furthermore, he is the all-time top scorer for the national team with 62 goals in 121 matches to date. But do you believe that there is truly a curse on Ibrahimovic, preventing him from ever playing in a World Cup again? Was it just bad luck, or perhaps he was never all that he claims to be? The fact is that Ibrahimovic made his name through his immense talent and his memorable quotes throughout his trophy-laden and statistically impressive career. He retired at Milan at the age of 41 and is now working as the club's sporting director. One thing we cannot deny is that players like Zlatan Ibrahimovic are rare and always make a difference when they show up. So tell me in the comments if you agree with those opinions about Ibra. Share in the comments other stories you'd like to see here on The Beautiful Fever. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and see you in the next video.